$5 billion. That is not a typo. And this is not a pirate legend from a fantasy book. Somewhere in the dark, crushing depths of the Taiwan Strait, lies a metal tomb holding a fortune that could rebuild an entire nation. This is the haunting story of the MS Awa Maru. History calls it the Titanic of Japan. But unlike the Titanic, this wasn't an accident. It was a massacre. And unlike the Titanic, the cargo wasn't just passengers. We are talking about 40 tons of gold bullion, 12 tons of platinum, and boxes filled with priceless diamonds, all vanishing in less than 2 minutes. For decades, governments lied about it. Spies hunted for it. And when divers finally cracked open the hull, they found a secret that terrified the world. What happened to the lost gold of the Awa Maru? Did it simply disappear, or was it stolen? Let's dive in. To understand the tragedy, you have to understand the lie. The year is 1945. The Pacific Ocean is a war zone. The Japanese Empire is crumbling. They are desperate. They need to move their wealth back to the mainland before the Allies take everything. But how do you move $5 billion across an ocean filled with American submarines? You hide it in plain sight. The Awa Maru was originally a luxury passenger liner. But the Japanese Navy gave her a new paint job. They painted her white. They painted giant green crosses on her sides. They registered her as a Red Cross relief ship. Under international law, she was untouchable. Even the Americans granted her safe conduct. Under the cover of night, soldiers loaded thousands of heavy crates. The manifest said lead. But lead doesn't sparkle. Intelligence reports later revealed the truth. Those crates contained the liquid fortune of the collapsing empire. Gold bars wrapped in newspaper. Platinum ingots disguised as machine parts. The Awa Maru was no longer a hospital. She was a floating bank vault. April 1, 1945. Late at night. The fog in the Taiwan Strait is so thick you can't see your own hand in front of your face. Lurking beneath the waves is the USS Queenfish, a lethal American submarine. Commander Charles Laughlin is hunting. Suddenly, a blip appears on the radar. A massive target. Moving fast. Fire torpedoes. For torpedoes slice through the water. Boom. The impact is catastrophic. The Awa Maru doesn't just sink, she snaps in half. The sheer weight of the gold drags her down like a stone. In the pitch-black night, amidst the screaming and the fire, the safest ship in the ocean plunges to the bottom in just 2 minutes. 2,004 people went into the water. Only one man survived. Just one. The greatest treasure on Earth had just hit the bottom of the ocean. And instantly, the cover-up began. For 30 years, the wreck sat in the mud. Silent. 200 feet down. A ghost story. But gold has a way of attracting attention. In 1977, the silence was broken. The People's Republic of China announced the biggest salvage operation the world had ever seen. This wasn't a small team of treasure hunters. This was the military. Why would a government spend millions of dollars and 3 years of effort on a rusted wreck? They claimed they were clearing the shipping lane. They claimed they wanted to recover the remains of the victims. But the world knew better. They were after the vault. Day and night, Chinese divers descended into the murky water. The currents were deadly. They blasted through thick steel doors. They cut through the tangled mess of the cargo hold. They brought up tons of tin. They brought up rubber. They brought up the personal belongings of the dead. But everyone was watching for one thing. The strong room. The place where the $5 billion was supposed to be sleeping. Here is where the story turns into a legend. In 1980, the Chinese government declared the mission over. They returned the remains of the victims to Japan. It was a solemn moment. But regarding the treasure? They issued a short statement: no gold was found. $5 billion, just gone. How is that possible? Historians and treasure hunters have three theories, and each one is more disturbing than the last. Theory number 1, the gold is still there. Some experts believe the heavy gold slid deep under the mud when the ship broke apart, buried so deep that even the military divers couldn't reach it. Theory number 2, it was never there. Maybe the spies lied. Maybe the gold was offloaded in Singapore before the ship ever sailed, and the Awa Maru was just a decoy to fool the Americans. Theory number 3, this is the most popular theory. The Chinese divers did find the gold. They found it, they brought it up, and it quietly disappeared into the government's national reserves, never to be spoken of again. Think about it. If you found 40 tons of gold in international waters, would you tell the world? Today, the Awa Maru still rests at the bottom of the Taiwan Strait. It is a tomb for 2,000 souls. It is a monument to the cruelty of war. And perhaps, just perhaps, it is still the guardian of the largest lost fortune in human history. The gold bars, stamped with the imperial seal, might still be waiting in the dark, covered in 80 years of silt. What do you think? Did the divers take the gold secretly? Or is the $5 billion still down there, waiting for someone to find it? Tell me your theory in the comments below. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. It helps us dive deeper. And make sure you subscribe to Deep Sea Discoveries. Next week, we are investigating a ship that vanished without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle. You do not want to miss it. I'll see you in the next deep dive.